Hello, my dear students. A very warm welcome to all of you in Shri Jaindra Rank Zone. I am your friend and mentor for the subject Principles and Practices of Accounting. In this lecture, we'll continue with chapter 4, that is Inventories. All the concepts will be covered in the coming series of lectures. This is lecture number 4. So let us begin. Let us begin the fifth topic, that is the first topic, point number 5, weighted average price method. Weighted average price method. We have already done average price method in the last class. In this class, we are beginning with weighted average price method. Simple average price does not consider the quantities purchased in various lots. However, it is more logical to compute weighted average price using the quantities purchased in a lot as weights. Under weighted average price method, cost of goods available for sale during the period is totaled, that is aggregated, and then divided by the number of units available for sale during that period. To calculate what? To calculate weighted average price per unit. Thus, we can say that weighted average price per unit equal to total cost of goods available for sale during the year divided by total number of units available for sale during the year. Closing inventory equal to number of units in inventory multiplied by weighted average price per unit, and cost of goods sold equal to number of units sold multiplied by weighted average price per unit. So number of units sold multiplied by weighted average price per unit, if we multiply these two things, we'll get cost of goods sold. Let us see an example. So in the same example, that is illustration 1, calculate value of closing stock by weights average price method. So over here we have the column of date, a receipt, quantity, amount, rate, issues, quantity, rate, amount, balance, quantity, rate, amount. On 4th of December, we purchased 900 quantities, so receipts is 900 multiplied by 5, 4500. The balance is 900 multiplied by 5, 4500. Then on 5th of December issued 600 units, so 600 and this 5, so 3000. From the 900 we issued 600, so what we have with us is 300. So 300, the rate is 5, 300 multiplied by 5 is 1500. I believe you understood till here. On 10th of December, again there is a receipt of 400 units, so 400 multiplied by rate 5.5, total 2200. Just see over here, 300 plus 400 equals 700, and the amount total is 3000. Over here the amount total is 1500 plus 2200 is 3700. 1500 plus 2200 is 3700. We divide 3700 by 700, that means 3700 divided by 700. We found this average price, that is 5.28. On 11th of December, we received 300 units. So 300, the rate is 5.5. 300 multiplied by 5.5 is 1650. Now, we have 700 quantity over here and 300 quantity over here. The total is 1000. The balance is, so 3700 plus 1650 over here. The total is 5350. If we divide 5350 with 1000, we'll get this figure, that is the average rate is 5.35. Then on 12th of December, we has issued 400 units out of 1000. So 1000 minus 400 and 600. On what rate? 5.35. So 2140. So 5350 minus 2140 will get what? 3210. Again we have a receipt 200 into 6, 1200. So this 600 plus 200 is 800. 1200 plus 3210 is 4410. Again we have a receipt of 800 units. The rate is 4.75. 800 multiplied by 4.75 equals 3800. Now from this, just see the total over here. This 800 plus this 800 is 1600. 4410 plus 3800, 8210, and then we issued 600. So 1600 minus 600, the closing figure is 1000. The rate would be 5.13, 5.13, and 8210 minus 3078 equal to 5132. I believe you understood this. So this was the weighted average price method. Kindly see it one more time. Let's see one example. Example. Weighted average method. Purchased 200 units at 12. Then again purchased 100 units at rupee 13. From this issued 50 units at the rate 18 rupees. Purchased 100 units at the rate 12 rupee. Again purchased 150 units. Purchased 150 units at rupee 12.5. Purchased 50 units at 13 rupees. Issued 200 units at 19 rupees, and so on. So till here, fine. So let's try to solve this. Let's try to solve this. Quantity, solution. Make 3 columns: quantity, rate, and amount. So first of all, purchase 200 units at 12. So 200 units, rate is 12, amount is 2400. Then purchased 100 units at 13. So purchased 100 units plus 100, 13 rupees, 1300. After that we issued 50 units at 18. But before issuing, we need to total it. The units is 3, the quantity is 300 units, amount is 3700. Now 3700 divided by 300, you will get this balancing figure. Do it. 3700 divided by 300, 12.33. So we have to issue this 50 units at 12.33 minus 50 at 12.33, obviously. So minus 50 we had issued. 300 minus 50, we got what? 250. 250 at 12.33. 250 multiplied by 12.33, the total is 3082. Now, again we have purchased 100 unit at 12. So 100 unit at 12, 1200. Again we have purchased 150 units at 12.5. So purchased 150 units at 12.5. 150 multiplied by 12.5. 1875. 1875. Again purchased 50 units at 13. So plus 15 at the rate 13, 650. Now over here it is issued. So we have to total it. 250 plus 100, 350. 350 plus 150. 350 plus 150. 400 plus 50. 400 plus 50. 5. 250 plus 100 plus 150 plus 50 equals 550. Total this 3082 plus 1200 plus 1875 plus 650. 6807. Balancing over here, average 12.38. Average 12.38. From this we can issue what? From this we can issue 200 units. Minus 200 units issued. So 550 minus 200 is 350. 350 at 12.38. So 350 multiplied by 12.38 equals 350 multiplied by 12.38 equals 4333. 4333. I believe you understood till here. Let us see one more example. Let us see one more example. Weighted average price method. Weighted average price method. Purchased 100 units at rupee 11. Purchased 150 units at rupee 11.5. Purchased 50 units at 12. Issued 100 units at 19. Purchased 100 units at 11.5. Issued, or make it purchase only. Purchased 200 units at rupee 12.5. Issued 300 units at rupee 20, purchased 100 units at rupee 11. I believe you understood till here. This is the question. We need to solve it. Solution. Solution. Make 3 columns: quantity, rate, amount. Quantity, rate, amount. First, purchase 100 units at 11 plus 100, 11, amount 1100. Purchased 150 units at 11.5. Purchased 150 units at 11.5. This is 1725 and this is purchase. Purchased, purchased. Again purchase 50 units at 12. Purchased 50 unit at 12. 50 units, 12. 12 multiplied by 50, 600. Then we have issue 100 units. Issue 100 units. So we need to calculate average. 150 plus 50, 200 plus 100, 300. Over here, 1100 plus 1725 plus 600. Average 3425 divided by 300. 11.41. So this, what we did is, from this 300 we have to issued 100 at 19. Right over here, issued 100. 100 will be issued. So the balancing is 200. The balancing is 200 at the rate of 11.41. The same rate, 200 multiplied by 11.41, 2282. 2282. So issued 100, then purchased 100 at 11.5. Purchased 100 units at 11.5. 100 units at 11.5. 100 multiplied by 11.5 is 1150. Again purchased 200 units at 12.5. Purchased 200 units at 12.50. This is 2500. Let's do a quick total. 500 over here, 2282 plus 1150 plus 2500 is 5932. Let's do a quick average. 5932 divided by 500, 11.864. 11.864. Issued 300 units at 20. Issued 300 units. 500 minus 300 is 200. The remaining 11.864. 2373. Again purchased 100 units at 11. Purchased 100 units at 11. So 200 plus 100, 300, 11.864, 3559. I believe you understood this. I believe you understood this. Let us take one more example. Let us take one more example. Example, weighted average method. Weighted average method. Write the question. Purchased 100 units at 12.5. Purchased 150 units. Purchased 150 units at 13. Purchased 100 units at 12.75. Purchased 100 units. Purchased 100 units at 11. Issued 300 units. Issued 300 units at 19. Purchased 100 units at 11. Again purchased 150 units at 11.5. Issued 200 units at 20. Calculate by using weighted average method. Let us see how we'll solve it. Solution with three columns: quantity, rate, and amount. Purchased, quantity is 100, rate is 12.5, amount is 1250. Then purchased 150 units at 13. Purchased 150 units at 13. Amount is 1950. Purchased 100 units at 12.75. Purchased 100 units at 12.75. 1275. Purchased 100 units at 11. Purchased 100 units at 11. 1100. Issued 300 units. So we need to total it because issue is there. Total it. 150 plus 100, 250, 350, 450. So 450. Out of that we had issued 300. Issued 300. 450 minus 300 is 150. This 450, just make a total over here. 1250 plus 1950 plus 1275 plus 1100. 5575. 5575 divided by 450. 12.38. Now this 150. 12.38. 150 multiplied by 12.38 is 1857. 1857. Purchased 100 unit at 11. Again, purchased 100 unit at 11. Purchased 100 units at 11. 1100. Purchased 150 units at 11.5. Purchased 150 units at 11.5. This would be 1725. Issue 200 units at 20. Issue, but we need to total it. 400. Over here 1875 plus 1100 plus 725. 4682. Average is 11.70. We need to issue 200. Right over here issued 200. From 400 200 is issued. 200 is remaining at 11.70. 2340. 2340. I believe you must have understood this. Let us move ahead. Write one final example, and we'll try to solve this example by all the four methods. Write value closing stock, value closing inventory as per first in first out FIFO, last in first out LIFO, average method, average price method, weighted average price method. Weighted average price method. Let's write the question. Purchased 100 units at 12 rupees. Purchased 150 units at 12.5 rupees. Issued 100 units issued at 19 rupees. Purchased 50 units at 13 rupees. Purchased 50 units at 30 rupees. Let's try to do this by FIFO first. Solution by FIFO. First in, first out. So 100 unit is purchased, then 150 is purchased, then 50 is purchased. Total is 300. From this 300, 100 is issued. So minus 100, remaining is 200. We need to see bifurcation of this 200. First in, first out. So this 100 will be issued from here, purchased. This will be out. So the available will be 150 into 12.5 and 50 multiplied by 13. 50 units at the rate 13 rupees 650, and over here 150 units at the rate 12.5 1875. Make total of both of it 2525. So as per FIFO, first in first out, the valuation of inventory is 2525. Valuation of closing inventory. Closing inventory by first in first out, that is FIFO. Let us do it by LIFO now. LIFO. LIFO, last in first out. If from this 100 is issued, then last in from this 150 it would be issued, 100 would be issued from this 150. Okay, so in LIFO, this is 100 that is issued. Last in, this is 150. So from 150, 100 is issued, remaining is 50. So this 100 is remaining, this 50 is remaining, and this 50 is remaining. So 100 multiplied by 12, 50 multiplied by 12.5, and this 50 unit multiplied by 13 would be the value of closing stock as per LIFO. Value of closing inventory as per LIFO equals 100 units multiplied by 12 plus 50 units multiplied by 12.5 plus 50 units multiplied by 13. So this would be 1200 plus 12.5 multiplied by 50 12.5 multiplied by 50 625, and 13 multiplied by 50 650. If we do total of this, 650 plus 625 plus 1200, the total is 2475. This is the value of closing inventory. This is the value of closing inventory. Clear? Let us continue and do the same question by average price method. Average price method. For average price method, we should calculate average rate first. Average rate. So let us check the rate first. 12, 12.5 and 13. 12, 12.5 and 13. 12 plus 12.5 plus 13 divide by 3. So the average rate over here is 12.5. Average closing inventory. Average closing inventory equals 200 units multiplied by 12.5 equals 2500 equals to 2500. Okay, Let us do the same question by weighted average price method. Weighted average price method. Weighted average price method. First of all, just write, make three columns, that is quantity, rate, and then amount. First of all, purchased 100 units. So just write purchase 100 units. The rate is 12. The rate is 12. So 100 multiplied by 12 is 1200 plus purchase. The quantity was 150 and the amount is 12.5. 150 and 12.5. So quantity is 150, rate is 12.5. So 150 multiplied by 12.5 is 1875. Then there is a issue, so we need to total it. 100 plus 150 is 250. 100 plus 250, 150 is 250. Over here 1200 plus 1875. Total is 3075. Calculate the average rate. 3075 divided by 250. 3075 divided by 250. The average rate is 12.30. From this we had issued what? Issued 100. 250 minus 100 is 150. This 150 is valued at 12.30. 150 multiplied by 12.30 equals 1845. Equals 1845. Now purchase 50 units at 13. Purchase 50 units. Purchase 50 units at 13. So 50 multiplied by 13 equals 650. 150 plus 50 is 200. 1845 plus 650 is 2495. This is the value of closing stock as per weighted average method. Value of closing inventory as per weighted average method. Okay, I believe it must be clear to all of you. Let us continue. Let us continue and see illustration 4. Illustration 4. On the basis of data given in illustration 1 and 2, calculate the weighted average price, and also the value of closing inventory, by weighted average price method. Okay, so we'll do it. Just write solution. But before we do the solution, let us see illustration number 1 and 2, because this question is related with illustration number 1 and 2. Let's see illustration 1 and 2. So this was illustration number 2, and this is illustration number 1. Just record it well. December 4, this is the purchased amount is given, so total purchases is receipts is 2600, 900 at 50, 400 and 55, 300 at 55, 200 at 60, and 800 at 47. And then in illustration 2, the issued amounts are given. December 5 issue 500 units, December 20 issue 600 units, December 29 issue 500 units, so total issued 1600 units, remaining in the closing inventory 1000 units. We need to do this question using weighted average price method. Okay, draw with me. Receipts column, payments, that is issues, and balance. So this is receipts, then we have issue, and at last balance. Make 3 columns. Make 3 columns. Quantity, rate, amount. The first is date, then quantity, rate, amount. Then balance, we have quantity, rate, amount. I believe you understood. So on 4th December, the receipt was 900 units. 900 units. Rate was 50 rupees. So 900 multiplied by 50. Amount is 45,000. Blank in the issues part. The balance was 900 multiplied by 50. 45,000. On 5th December, there was an issue of 500 units at 50. 500 multiplied by 50 is 25,000. From 900, 500 is issued. So remaining is 400 at 50, 20,000. I believe you understood till here. The next is December 10. Again, receipt of 400 at 55. This is 22,000. There is no issues. Now, recording the balance inventory. 400 this and 400 this. 400 and 400, 800. 22,000 plus 20,000, 42,000. 42,000 divided by 800, the balancing figure is 52.5. This is the average rate. This is the average rate, 52.5. December 10 is done. On December 11, it's a receipt of 300 units at 55 rupees. So 300 multiplied by 55, it is 16,500. 16,500. And over here, the balance is 800 plus 300. This would be 1100. 42,000 plus 16,500. It is 58,500. And then we need to calculate the average rate. So 58,500 divided by 1100. 58,500 divided by 1100 is 53.18. 53.18. This is the average rate that we have calculated, 53.18. On 19 December, there is a receipt of 200 units at a price of 60 that totals as 12,000. Issues are not there on that date. So 1100 plus 200 is 1300. 1300 and 58,500. 58,500 plus 12,000. So it totaled as 70,500. 17,500 divided by 1300. 54.23. 54.23. This is the average rate. 54.23 on 19th of December. On 28th of December, there is an issue of 600 units. The rate is 54.23. 54.23. 600 multiplied by 54.23 is 32,538. 32,538. From 1300, 600 is issued. So 1300 minus 600, the balancing figure is 700. The balancing figure is 700 of 54.23. This is the rate. 54.23 multiplied by 700. 37,962. 37,962. On December 28, there is a receipt of 800 units. So 800 at a price of 747. So 800 multiplied by 47 is 37,600. 37,600. There is no issue. Let's write the balance. 700 plus 800 is 1500. Over here, 37,962 plus 37,600. 75,562. The average rate is 75,562 divided by 1500. 50.37. 50.3746667. So it's long. Just write 50.37. On December 29, just stretch it a bit. Stretch the lines. On December 29, 500 units issued. The price is 50.37. 25185. 500 multiplied by 50.37. 25185. 1500. 500 is gone. So the balance is 1000. 1000. The price is, rate is 50.37, 50.37 multiplied by 1000 equals 50370 equals 50370. This is the value of closing stock 50370 is the value of closing stock. Just write over here value of closing inventory, value of closing inventory as per weighted, the value of closing inventory as per weighted average price method, weighted average price method. I believe you understood till here. Write a note over here. Write a note over here. Illustration 4 above is an example of weighted average price method used in perpetual inventory recording system. In case the entity would have been using in case the entity would have been using periodic inventory recording system, periodic inventory recording system, closing inventory would have been valued as below. Just see it over here. As below. Just write over here details of purchases, details of purchases oblique receipts during the period is as follows: date, quantity, rate, and value. December 4, quantity purchased is 900, rate is 50, so the value is 45,000. December 10, quantity purchased is 400, that is receipt, rate is 55 rupees, value is 22. thousand. December 11, quantity is 300, value is 55. So 300 multiplied by 55 is 16,500. Is it clear till here? December 19, 200 units. The rate is 60. 200 multiplied by 6060 equals 12,000. December 28, quantity is 800 units, amount is 47. 800 multiplied by 47 is 37,600. 37,600. Write total over here. 900 plus 400 plus 300 plus 200 plus 800 equals 2,600. Over here in the value column, 45,000 plus 22,000 plus 16,500 plus 12,000 plus 37,600. If you make a total of the volume column, we'll receive 1,33,100. Let us divide and calculate the average rate. 133,100 divide by 2600, that is 2600. The average figure is 51.192. 51.192. Right over here, accordingly, closing stock of 1000 units would have been valued at 51,190, that is rupee 51.192 per unit. How we had calculated this figure, that is 51,190. So 51.192, this is 92 over here, 192 multiplied by 1000 units, 1000 units, the figure of 51,192 will come. I believe it is clear to you. Let's see what we have done in today's class. Let's see what we have done in today's class. So we have learnt about weighted average price method. We have seen a illustrative example. We have learnt this formula of weighted average price method. We have seen several examples in relation to weighted average price method. We have solved and taken different cases. Then we have done a final case where we have done a FIFO, LIFO. We have applied weighted average price method and weighted average price method. FIFO, LIFO, average price method, weighted average price method, and then we have done illustration 4 in detail, and then we have written this note which relates to periodic system and perpetual system. We are stopping here. We are stopping here. We'll continue in the next class. Thank you.